What's up, everybody? Joey G in the place to be. Chilling like Bobby Dylan. What's up, pups? Just chilling here. You know how it is. It's a windy day today. It's like Chicago here in Philadelphia. It's windy as shit. Last night here in Philly, it was windy. I thought my back deck was gonna go down. It was so windy. But otherwise than that, Stanley Cup tonight, Game 7. Edmonton and Florida. I know I got on here the other day and did a short and said, it's all over for Florida. But no, I don't. That was just me in the moment. You know how we all stay things in the heat of the moment. But I do think Florida will win tonight. I want them to. I like Florida. I want them to win. I think they will. It's Game 7. People are saying, Edmonton came back from this 0-3 deficit. Let me tell you something. Florida wins, everybody will forget that they came back and won 3 in a row and made a Game 7 because Florida won. You know what I'm saying? It's happened in sports before. The Utah Jazz was up 3-0 on the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs 20-something years ago. The Denver Nuggets came all the way back to tie them 3-3. But Utah won Game 7. Nobody really talks about that. You know what I mean? So it'll be forgotten, is what I'm saying. But I love Philly. And I know I've said stuff on Facebook that, Philly is a shithole. Well, it is. It is a shithole. It's a shithole city. It is. Just like Cleveland's a shithole city. Just like Chicago's a shithole city. You know what I mean? Just like New York's a shithole city. Come on. You know what I mean? But Philadelphia was never like as bad as it is now. It's not. Cops getting shot all over. Come on. I'm no saint. You know what I mean? But I don't think cops should be getting shot. Nah. Sorry, nah. And it's always with the gunplay. Nobody can ever rumble no more. You know what I mean? Or pick up at least a stick or a bat. Somebody's got to pop you. You know what I'm saying? That's wimp shit. That's pussy shit. Excuse my language. But it is. Sorry I went off on that tangent for a second. I wasted, but I just had to get that off my chest. You know what I mean? I love Philadelphia. I love my city. But yeah, it's horrible. What Krasner is, it's horrible. It's horrible. It is. But let me get on to what I want to talk about. Really, it's just the Stanley Cup. And I saw a poll today. And it said, who's the biggest draw ever in professional wrestling? And it had Hulk Hogan. The choices were Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes in the biggest draw of all time is in that. Thankfully, he only had 2%. Austin won it. Hogan was 2. Cena was 3rd. I hate to break it to y'all. What do you call it? But Hulk Hogan's the greatest draw of all time. I lived it. I lived all through it. I was there. Hogan had lunch boxes with his name. He had a freaking cartoon named after him. He was larger than life. He played the kids and adults. Everybody loved Hulk Hogan. Everybody was a Hulkamaniac. Brother! You know what I'm saying? This is a little acting from me. But yeah, everybody loved Hulk Hogan. And I love Steve Austin. And Steve Austin's my guy. He's number 2, though. Steve Austin was in the Attitude Era, which was completely different than when Hogan was in there. I love Austin flipping people up, drinking beers and, the cursing and all. I love that shit, the Attitude Era. But it wasn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there that would hate it oh my God, in today's world. You know what I mean? But even back then, people didn't like it. And that was in 97, 98, 99. You know what I mean? 2000. So people didn't like that shit back then. But Hogan appealed to everybody. He did. He appealed to everybody. You know what I mean? It was like what every man wanted back then. He was larger than life. That's what Vince McMahon wanted back then. He wanted the guy, when you were in the airport, people would turn their heads. Because let's be honest, Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But he walks through an airport, yeah, chicks might know who he is, but they're not going to turn heads. They're going to be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like when Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant or The Undertaker, you know what I mean, are walking through a airport, people are like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Size does matter. It does. In professional wrestling and sports, in everything. Size does matter. Yes, it does. You got to sell to draw the crowd. You know what I mean? And Hulk Hogan, I think, is the biggest draw in professional wrestling. Period. Yeah, I like back in the day. I wish I could have lived back in the territory days. With Piper up in Portland. You know what I'm saying? With Andre in New York. With Hogan in the AWA in Minneapolis. With Mike Graham and Kevin Sullivan in Florida. With Dusty in Florida. You know what I'm saying? With Paul Bosch in Houston. Some people are like, who the fuck are these people? I'm old school. It's old school wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's three draws, in my opinion, three biggest draws in wrestling. And well, really, I'll even go five. And the five biggest draws are Hogan, Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, and Ric Flair. They're not that's not my list. That's the list. That are the top five of all time. People could say Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino sold out in New York and the East Coast and Pittsburgh and Philly. He would go down to Florida and people would be sitting on their hands like,